I even had one time where I gave a guy I gave him like my last $5, and I was in downtown Los Angeles a long time ago when I lived down there. And I bought it. What I did is I actually bought him a burrito. I always said, and still to this day, I always would get somebody food if they need to eat. And so I bought him a burrito. I bought myself one. And then I realized that I pretty much spent every dollar I had. And I was like, wow, okay, well, I should be able to get home because I lived about 30, 40 miles from from downtown at that time. And then he reached in his pocket, and I heard he had just a mound of change and dollars and everything because some fell out, and he picked it up. And I was like, wow, okay, so he has some money in his pocket. Um, Whatever, I'm sure he needs that. And then we got our food and parted ways. I got in my car and I was empty. I totally forgot. I needed money for gas. Um, and that was everything I had at that moment. So all of a sudden now I'm driving home just sweating, like very nervous. Like, am I gonna make it home? Like that, I really actually needed that, even though I really wanted to help him. Um, and that was something that really instilled in me. And then there was another moment I had where I actually broke my ankle riding my bike, and I was up in the mountains, and I was doing jumps on a BMX bike and stuff, and I broke my ankle, and there was nobody anywhere. I was completely alone. Um, and this is so weird, but there was nobody there, nobody. But when I fell, I was screaming, I was yelling, like I was more angry than anything. And a homeless guy comes out of a bush somewhere that he lived in, and he comes to help me. And he had a stick that was like he turned into a crutch. So he gave me that so I could get up, and he helped me up and helped me get back on my bike so I could roll down to the bottom of the hill and get picked up to go to the hospital. Um, and those two things is it's kind of far apart because like on one hand I want to help people, but on the other I can't prevent myself from getting home. And, at the same time, it's just like the one person that was there when I really, really needed somebody was the last person I would have ever expected, and someone I didn't even see there. And yet, he had almost nothing. Like that crutch was actually really important to him, but he was willing to give it to me. And I thought that was really, really special. Fast forward a little bit, and I moved to Reno, and I had a really good job, but it didn't totally work out. And, that company has since shut their doors. But as I was driving away from the job and I had been laid off, the owner and I were not getting, I saw somebody at the end of the freeway out the off ramp, and they're holding their sign there. And I had just signed a lease on a home, so I wasn't, I just signed a lease on a home. I put every dollar I had to get into that home. I think I had, and it's actually the same one I'm in now, but I had like one bed and a TV in a big four-bedroom empty house that I was planning on having my family move into with me eventually. Um, and that's a whole nother story because, yeah, I still have a daughter, and my fiance at the time is no longer, whatever. Anyway. So I was just sitting in this empty house and I'm going, what do I do? I like, how is this going to work out? Like that guy that was standing on the side of the road holding that sign was probably in a similar situation to me right now, but he didn't have family. He didn't have resources. He didn't have something like a car he could sell to save and pay his rent or something along those lines. There was a domino effect there, and it might have been two dominoes. It could have been 10, but they all went down at once. And that's what probably put him in that situation and could put me in a very similar situation right now if I'm not careful. Wow, I could have been that guy. That guy could be me. Like, we're really no different. It's just a matter of circumstances. It's like, I wonder what his story really is. I would really like to know more about that. I wonder if I could make, I wonder if other people have this same thought. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. I'm sure people wonder what made people get to that point, and what is their story and their journey, and what can we do to make a difference and help? And that's when I started thinking, well, maybe I could make content around something like that and actually share people's stories and spread awareness and make a difference.